Retain gang, what's poppin', man? This your boy Tay, back at y'all again with another video, man. Peace and abundance to everybody watching right now. Before we start the video, make sure you guys tap that like button. Follow me on all my socials, that way you don't miss out on extra content or updates for the channel. I want to speak on generational curses because every single one of us are plagued by this. Like, no one is safe from a generational curse. See, when you have kids, what you're doing is you're passing down all of your information, right? In your seed, you possess all of your data, all of your knowledge, all of your information, everything that you've been through, traumas, experiences, all that gets passed down into your child. You get what I'm saying? This is why they say you inherit the sins of your forefathers. Because those memories, they don't go away. They're passed down. So everything that they went through, your ancestors went through, it gets passed down to you in your DNA via memory, via emotions, traumas, experiences, all that stuff. Okay? So some of these vices that were passed down from your ancestors, it's up to you to heal. Because you are the newest version of your timeline, your DNA. So everything that they've been through now, it's all on you. You get what I'm saying? This is why a lot of chosen ones were born into families to help heal, to help break those generational curses. It starts with healing. But you got to heal yourself first. Right? You can't heal no one else. You can't heal the world. You can't raise the vibration of the collective until you do it to yourself first. That's the catch. So this is all about us going within and dealing with ourselves first, because it affects you, whether you know it or not. It affects everything you do, your daily habits, your routine, how you think, right? All that stuff sits dormant. That was passed down to you. It doesn't come up unless it's triggered via activation, being activated. You might have been someone who was bullied as a child. So now you can't handle people that are controlling. Anytime someone comes and tries to give you orders or tries to control you, it might trigger an emotional response of how you felt back then, which activates those emotions again. And you might react based off those emotions. You're not in control. And this can be dangerous. You might have abandonment issues that stems from your childhood. People always leaving your life. You couldn't rely on anyone. You didn't have support. So now at your grown age, if someone doesn't support you or they leave you, it'll trigger an emotional response from what you felt in your childhood. And this is how generational curses start, is because you held on to things and you never healed them. You never dealt with it. So when you decide to have kids, you pass down all that information onto your children. And now they have to deal with that. You ever see your parents, they be like, you act just like your dad, or you act just like your mom, or, you know, you have the same mannerism as your parents. That's because they pass down that information to you. You might not even notice it, but they notice it because they see themselves in you. You get what I'm saying? So it's real, and you got to deal with this. We got to come to terms with self. A lot of people don't want to deal with self. We just want to point the blame and point the fingers at everyone else. No, it's your responsibility to heal yourself. See, we're in the spiritual world right now, so whatever your vice is being used against you. Everything's coming to the surface. All the truth is coming to the light. And the enemy is going to play on your vices. For example, in your family, there might have been a case where drinking is a problem. Whenever drinking is involved, there's always chaos. There's always something bad happening. They can't control themselves. You feel me? So that gets passed down, and now the enemy can use that vice to destroy you. So now you start doing that, and you start acting out of character. You start having emotional responses. You start hurting others. You start getting into all type of things that's out of your character. So it's all about acknowledging that and taking accountability for it. And it stops with you. It has to stop with you. And it's a heavy burden. But as a chosen one, you were ready for it. This is what you came back for. You got to understand, when you heal yourself, you heal everybody else too. You get me? You heal your past. You heal your future. For you to go and deal with your traumas, you have to go to the past. You have to time travel back to the past. See, people don't know that. You know, if you watch the Avengers movie, whenever they went to the past, right, they can only do certain things because it was going to change their future, which it changed the future anyway. Anytime you go to the past and change something, it's going to change your reality. So this is why when you go and you heal, when you deal with your traumas, you see your world is different. Your reality changes. You start to receive blessings. Everything becomes different. The people around you, you start to attract more healed people in your life. You might even see your family starting to heal and starting to live better. Dealing with your traumas forces you to go back to your past and experience that again, feel those emotions again, and make a change, make a different decision, right? So you decided, instead of me indulging in this energy, I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to forgive that person. That's changing your timeline. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to get too much into that part, but by you just being who you are and doing what you're doing, every single day you're getting up and you want to be a better version of yourself. So you start living a better lifestyle. You dealing with that stuff. You're not holding anything in, but you're bringing it to the surface. All right, what is this? Why is this bothering me? All right, this is what we're going to do. A, B, C, get rid of it. Move on with life. You're doing this. You're healing everything around you. It's a beautiful thing, but it takes hard work. It's not going to be easy. But we can't keep passing this same energy down. If you decide to have kids, you cannot pass that down to your kids. You know what I'm saying? You should be better than your ancestors. It's all about evolution. You are supposed to be better than what your ancestors were. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not condescending. It's not talking down on them. But evolving is all about being better and learning from them, right? We learn from our ancestors what they did right and what they did wrong. We take the good and leave the bad. That's what healing is all about. We analyze the situation. We look at the play. We watch films. You know, if you play football, you watch films and you look at what you did right and what you did wrong. And you take that to the next game. What does it serve you to keep holding on to the same traumas for generations? You living out the same traumas that your parents did, that your grandparents did, and you passing that down to your children. How does that serve you? How does that serve any of us? You know, we got to stop putting the blame on our parents so much too, because they were traumatized as well. Our grandparents were traumatized as well. You know, when you're a kid, you think your parents are perfect. They got all the answers. They could do no wrong. But as you become an adult, you start to see that they're people. And they're going through life trying to figure it out just like you are. They don't have all the answers. They're not perfect. You know, they make mistakes. So some of the things that might have happened to you when you was a kid, some of the traumas that were passed down to you from your parents, you know, a lot of times they were just living life. They made a mistake. And it doesn't serve us to hold grudges, because that makes our heart heavy. When it's all said and done, it's all about weighing on the scale. Is your traumas, does your low vibrational energy outweigh your high vibrational energy, your good deeds, right? The best parts of you. Which one is heavier? If your traumas are heavier than the best parts of you, then that's the reality you're going to live in. And that's where we at right now. It's a split. It's a shift happening. So whatever energy you're more abundant in, whichever energy is heavier, that's the reality you're going to live in. You either going to sink or swim. Stay grounded or fly up. Which one do you want to live in? So you got to go within. Go through that darkness. As I walk through the valley of shadow and death, that's you. That's inside. That's all of those traumas and burdens and emotions that you held on to. Those demons. You got to cast them out. As I walk through the valley of shadow and death, I fear no evil, because thou art within me. You have the power to cast those demons out within you. So what are you afraid of? You have all the power. The only time you lose your power is when you're afraid or when you think that you are powerless. That's when you lose. So we got to walk through that valley, go through those memories, go back to your childhood and try to pinpoint any emotional distress that you have, anything that happened to you that don't sit right with you today. Look at your habits, your bad habits, and see where they came from. Try to find the source. And this is the first step to healing, is acknowledging it, accepting it, and taking accountability. Now, let's deal with it. All right? So it's time for us to break these chains. Your family is counting on you. Your ancestors are counting on you. Your future is counting on you. Okay? So let's get to work. With that being said, guys, if you need help, man, I do one-on-one consultations. So I'll leave my links in my description and in my pinned comments. Y'all have a beautiful day, man. And I'm out. Peace.